everybody, welcome back to my channel. For those of you who don't know, my name is Alyssa and today I am going to be showing you guys how I do my everyday makeup, which is a little misleading because I don't do makeup every single day. When I do wear makeup, this is the makeup look that I do. Very simple, very easy, very quick, and not too many products involved. So I will be listing everything, all of the products in the description down below if you guys are interested in getting them for yourselves, and I hope you guys enjoy. Let's get right into it. So the first thing I like to do is put my hair in a bun or in a ponytail, just some sort of style to get it out of my face because I hate getting product all over my hair. Then what I like to do is I like to wear a headband. This one's kind of dirty. I'm sorry that it's kind of dirty, but this is the one that I wear. I got this from Home Goods, TJ Maxx, for like $3, I think. And then what I like to do is I like to put on chapstick of any sort. So this one is literally chapstick in the classic cherry. I like to put on chapstick before I start my makeup because the powder, sometimes when I'm putting powder on my face, it like dries out my lips. I like to put some chapstick on before I start doing my makeup. So the next thing that I do is put some primer on, and the one that I'm using today is the e.l.f. Plus Matte Oil Control Primer with Kaolin Clay and Tea Tree. So it doesn't say tea tree oil, it literally just says tea tree. I'm a little bit low on this one, I need to restock, but I like this because it helps blur any of the giant pores that I've got going on my face, and it does actually do a decent job at keeping me matte throughout the day. It doesn't make me look overly oily or anything of that sort. So I like using this one, and I got this particular primer at Walmart for $10. I'm not sure if that's still the same price, if it's gone up or down in recent times, but when I bought it, it was $10. And what I make sure that I do is I make sure that I go into the corners here and try and take as much out. If I put too much or if I think it's too thick in the corners, I like to just kind of massage it out and thin it out, because if I leave too much in the corners, it kind of cakes up. Later on, when I am getting kind of oily, it'll cake up in this particular area, and I don't exactly like that. So now that that's nice and worked in, I would normally leave it to sit for like a couple minutes, but I don't think I put that much on today. I think I put less than I normally do just because I'm running out. So I don't think I need to leave it to sit for that long. So we're just going to move on to the next step. I'm actually going to conceal today. I don't normally conceal before I put any sort of foundation or BB cream on because I normally am not breaking out like crazy. But throughout this entire quarantine, I've been breaking out like a mad woman. To conceal these sort of breakouts that have sprung up during quarantine, I am going to be using the IT Bye Bye Breakout Full Coverage Treatment Concealer. And I'm just gonna dot on top of all these little dark areas that I have developed. So I don't go in with too much, I just kind of put like a thin layer. And then I go in with my blender sponge, which is the blending sponge from Real Techniques, which is my favorite dupe for a beauty blender. And I am just going to blend that in and just tap it in. Normally I think you would need to layer this up to get a more full coverage effect, but I just put a little bit on because I only need a little bit of extra coverage before I put on my foundation of choice. Speaking of foundation of choice, I like to use the Garnier Garnier? How do you say that? Someone let me know in the comments. Skin Active BB cream, which has sunscreen in it, and it's SPF 20. And I'm using the light medium shade, and the particular blend type that I'm using is the oily / combo skin type. This is what I use absolutely every single day. Sometimes I will choose this when I'm going to like a party. I'll choose this over like a normal foundation just because I like the effect that it gives. It doesn't make me overly oily, and it doesn't it makes me look more natural and less cakey than a traditional foundation does. But this part usually takes the longest for me to do. Before I start doing the rest of my makeup, what I like to do is wipe the back of my hand of any sort of foundation or concealer or BB cream or whatever it is that I have. I just like to have more clean hands, like I just feel uncomfortable. So now that that's done, I like to use a concealer underneath my eyes because I feel like I have darker under eyes. It might not be showing up very much on the camera, but I assure you it is something that bothers me in real life. So I'm going to be using the Tarte Shape Tape Concealer in the shade Light Neutral, and I don't like to make a big statement with my under eyes. Like, I don't like to go in and like heavily do, or like I don't like to make it super light. Like they tell you should be using like a shade, a couple of shades I think it is, lighter than your actual skin tone. It looks really light on camera, but when I blend it in real life, like I feel like it just kind of looks like the rest of my foundation. It just makes me look like a little bit, like it's a little bit lighter, but it's nothing like dramatic in my opinion. Next, I'm going to be taking the Airspun Loose Base Powder, and this is in Translucent Extra Coverage. And what I like to do is I just completely bypass this little grate here. So what I like to do is I like to take my sponge and really quick make sure that nothing is creased, and then I like to go in with my sponge and just dip it in and pat it. So that's what I like to do. If I really feel like it, I will set my eyelids as well. Just because I have like very many folds on my eyelid, so I like to make sure that it doesn't look super weird and not super caked up. This is what I like to do, and then generally what I'll do is I'll take, just knocked over everything, I'll take my big fluffy brush, which is dirty, I apologize. So I like not to super load my brush, but I'll load it and then I'll go in and I'll start near the eyes and just work near the eyes and then pat everything in like this. And I always like to make sure that my brush isn't like super concentrated. Like when I dip, I will hit the brush against the sides of the container, almost said the vessel, the container a bunch of times, just to make sure it's not like super concentrated in one area and that it's not too much product. And I really like to make sure, and I know I'm doing this like weird movement, but I like to make sure that I set the corners of my nose, because that's the spot where if I start getting oily, you can tell that I'm starting to get oily. I like to be a little bit extra, and I like to set my face with a setting spray or a facial mist, something along the lines of spray for your face. And this time I'm going to be using the Ulta Beauty Smart Skincare Solutions Watermelon Facial Mist. Refreshes and revives skin with watermelon extract and aloe. I like to just kind of spray it, get my face all nice and dampened, and that's how I do that. So now we just wait for it to dry, and while we wait for it to dry, normally this is when I would pick out like what kind of lip product I'm going to be using. Generally on an everyday basis I don't wear a lipstick. I'll just go for chapstick or something along those lines, and this is also the time where I'll take my makeup wipe and wipe away anything that got on my lips. If I feel like my lips are going to dry out, I reapply chapstick. This is also where I start to put things away because we're in a hurry and I don't want to have to clean it up later. Something that I also use in between waiting for my face to dry and continuing my makeup is this Lip Freak Ice and Spice Buzzing and Cooling Lip Oil. When it says buzzing and cooling, it means it. So this has some sort of like mix of, I think it's essential oils or something. There's some sort of mix of something that it reacts with the membranous skin of your lips and it makes it vibrate. So the eyebrows are my least favorite part of doing my makeup because I don't know how to do eyebrows. So what I use, sorry, I should probably tell you what I'm using, is the ColourPop Brow Boss. Whoa, one more time. ColourPop Brow Boss in Soft Black. And I just kind of, I don't know how to describe what I'm doing. I kind of just go where I see that there's hairs, fill it in. I don't know how to make it look natural in the front, so I just don't touch it. Then I use the other side, the little spoolie, and I like to go through and kind of comb through and brush out any color, anything that's too harsh. I like to brush out. My eyebrows are definitely cousins, not sisters. They are definitely cousins. They ain't twins. Yeah, they're definitely different, my two eyebrows. Anyways, so next I go in with the NYX, however you say it, Tinted Brow Mascara, and I use the color Black/Noir. I used to use Espresso, but that was, I believe, too light for me. So I just like to go in lightly, set everything. I try not to get too much on my skin. So next I like to go in with some blush, and the blush that I've been using, this blush has literally lasted me, I think, it's kind of gross, it's lasted me more than 2 years, is the Tea Rose Powder Blush from Milani, and I don't even know if they still sell this stuff, that's how old this is. And I just kind of like to go in with my Real Techniques multitask brush, and I like to kind of take some and blend it. I try not to put too much blush on because then it makes me look like way too pink. So next I like to put on mascara because I have really small eyelashes. I'm gonna grab a separate mirror here. I like to use the CoverGirl Lash Blast Volume in Very Black. Like to get a little bit excess off, and I just kind of like to work it into my eyelashes like so. I kind of jiggle. I don't jiggle and turn like some people do, I just jiggle it a little bit. And I just kind of build it up until it's at a spot where I like it. And I like to put it on my bottom lashes, also trying to avoid getting it underneath. So normally this will take me anywhere between 15 to 30 minutes to do, depending on how distracted I am. And I just got some on my eyelid again, so we're gonna have to take that off in a little bit. Now for highlights, I kind of have a lot of highlighters, and it usually depends on what I'm wearing, what color I pick out for the highlighter. Generally, I like to pick out my pink highlighter because I am a big fan of pink. So we're gonna be using the pink highlighter today. It's not the one that I use every single day. Like I said, it depends on what I'm wearing or how I'm feeling. But I'm going to be using the Monster Super Shock Cheek highlighter from ColourPop. I'm going to be taking this brush, which doesn't have a name, and I don't know the brand. There's no like actual name for it, and just kind of go in and put it in my cheeks. Like so. Sometimes I'll put it on my nose, but I'll only do a little bit on my nose because I don't want my nose to be like overly shiny, and my forehead a little bit. Alright, so that is my finished makeup look, and now I'm going to style my hair. Right, I'm no expert on doing hair, so excuse the mess called my hair, but that is it. That is it for that's the finished look. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. I know it is super simple, so I forgot before I put my hair up and took the headband out. I normally go back in with a setting spray and set everything. I should not have inhaled that right after spraying it. I like to set everything one more time before I go and leave for the day. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I don't claim to be a beauty guru of any kind. This is how I do my makeup every day, and thought it'd be fun to show you guys. So I hope you guys enjoyed, and I hope to see you guys in the next video.